welcome to Tools, Tips, and Tales. I'm Kim Saff, licensed clinical social worker. I have my doctorate in transpersonal psychology. I've been doing this over 20 years, and this is me helping you transform your life. Bah! All right, so what I want to talk to you today about is the pandemic year. Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of folks as we're resuming activity into the world. What do we want to take away from the pandemic year, right? It was a crazy time, unexpected, out of the blue. We didn't see it coming. And it's an amazing opportunity to gather data that we would have never had an opportunity to collect before, right? I mean, who expected all that? Yeah. So I'm talking to my folks about what did we learn? Yeah. What did we learn about ourselves during that year? What are our takeaways? What were some of the gifts of the experience? A lot of real negatives, right? Missing folks, not able to have normative activities, staying inside, isolated. Lots of negatives. And if we look for them, a ton of gifts. Yeah, the gifts of an experience. Anything I take away helps me learn and grow. All learning, all growth. Right. So I just want you to start thinking about what do I want to take away from the pandemic year and keep in my repertoire. What did I gain? Right? So some of my folks learned that they do a lot better at the office. Having that structure, having that support, having that community and connection really helps them flourish. Other folks, they learned a lot of that office nonsense isn't for them. And they found a lot more focus, dedication, and quiet, and inner peace and calm at home. Yeah, no right or wrong, right? Just figuring out what's the recipe that works for us. A client just yesterday, she was super proud of herself, and I was proud of her too. She's like, it was one of the first days back to the office. She's like, I went in early to avoid the commute. We were talking about how that commute was going to come back into her world, and she really wasn't feeling it. And so she went in early, avoided the commute, and then midday, she still had a huge list of meetings to tend to, but midday, she went home. Had a lunchtime with her partner, got to walk the dog, she got in the pandemic, and then she took the rest of the meetings at home. And for her, that was such a lovely balance that it felt really right for the her of today. Yeah. So just thinking, what do I want to make sure I'm bringing forward? A lot of folks created new hobbies, new pastimes, and they want to make sure they're keeping that in their new schedule moving forward, right? So just thinking on what's my takeaway from the pandemic year, what worked for me, what didn't, what worked me. Yeah. And then the last little tidbit I want you to think on is give yourself time for your social self to reacclimate. Right? First off, we're not the same as we were before, so we're not trying to return to the normal of then. We're different. We've had a year of experiences that have really changed us, and that's okay. Yeah. But our social selves, we haven't had a lot of time and activity to stretch those muscles. And when they don't get used, sometimes they atrophy. So some of my folks are like kind of struggling with reacclimating socially. And we're just talking about giving themselves some time, take it in baby steps, realize that's pretty reasonable coming off of a year of isolation. Yeah. So, all learning, all growth. What's your takeaway from your pandemic year? All right, enjoy reflecting.